As a designer, what can you do about material reutilization when pursuing cradle-to-cradle ideals in certification? Well, lots. Think about it. How would you design your product if you were required to take it back at the end of its life? Probably very differently than you do today. The first requirement for cradle-to-cradle certification here is to separate your product's technical nutrients from its biological nutrients, so each can travel in its own cycle. Remember, everything that's compostable can go into one biological cycle, no matter what different materials it's made out of. But most technical nutrients, metals, minerals, and most plastics, have to have their own separate cycles. Aluminum by itself is infinitely recyclable, but you can't recycle it in a steel smelter. So you have to be able to separate these materials from each other, as well as from biological nutrients. If your materials can't be separated, they can't be retrieved and returned to their cycles. It's called a monstrous hybrid and ends up in a landfill. Once nutrient cycles are defined, then you want to give your products as many lives as you can with as little transformation in between. You want to have your product used for a long time by many people. So design for longevity and make products into product service systems. Designing product service systems is more than just adding features to the product or changing its form. You need to work with your management, service, and marketing people to redesign the business model. How can you turn your product into a relationship between you and your customers, so that with less physical stuff, you make more money and they get more value? This will open up vast new possibilities for material reutilization. The ultimate goal is to have your products actually improve their value to the user over their lifetimes and have positive impacts at the end of their lives. Upcycling. One strategy that helps is design for longevity. It means both design for durability and actually getting used by people the whole time. That often means design for repair and design for upgrade to change with your users' changing needs and tastes. But long lives aren't appropriate for all products. For some product types, it's best to prioritize a smooth transition from one life to the next. You can do this by designing for reuse or remanufacturing of components. This is mostly design for disassembly. Two of the keys to design for disassembly, reuse, repair, and upgrade are modularization and standardization. This lets parts work together even across products and product generations. You can also design for recycling or composting of your product's materials. Part of this is, of course, choosing materials that are frequently recycled. The other part is design for disassembly again, or for separation by grinding up and sorting materials. Once again, make your technical nutrients easy to separate from each other and from your biological nutrients. Ground-up plastic is easier to sort from metal than from other ground-up plastic. It can be especially difficult to separate paints, coatings, and adhesives, so it's easier to just avoid them. Simply using less material in a product is great too. That goes not only for the material that ends up in your product, but waste ending up on the factory floor. Even if your materials are healthy and positive impact, you'll still save money this way. To attain the highest aspiration of cradle-to-cradle design, think about how your product's material reutilization could have positive impacts. Rather than just recycling, where materials can degrade in the process, shoot for upcycling. Upcycling is when you turn waste materials into new materials or products of higher quality or better environmental impacts. Combining material reutilization with material health, we get the double ideal of clean ingredients perpetually cycled. To accomplish all this, think about your users. How can you make material reutilization easy for them? Make it easy for them to take good care of your product, share it with others, and do the right thing with it at the end of its life.